probably something we missed. Is there anything that anybody wants to bring up now?
Is Paul Maroon going to be on today?
I'm on, Lindy.
Thanks.
Go, Paul.
So on our end, we are getting lots of questions about enforcement around face masks. And the question that our citizens are saying is that they feel if we had a local law, that would be something that they could speak up more on than the executive order. So I wanted to, with this additional information from last time, revisit the aspect of, is there a value in terms of having a Franklin County law relative to face masks?
Anyone got any opinion?
Well, the only thing I can say is, I didn't want to cause a big fuss over this. I thought it would be simple, but it doesn't matter if we have that law or not. The executive order is clear. Donna and I have talked about it. We talked about it with the state police and the district attorney. If you are within 6 feet of another person, you don't have a mask on, you're in violation of this executive order. If you are out in public and you're in a crowd of more than 10 and you don't have a mask on, you're in violation of his order. So, I mean, I know people don't want to hear it from the governor, they want to hear it from us, but it sort of caused too much of a commotion, and I don't want to get into that again if you don't want to. So, I mean, I just tell my people, go in the stores and you can't pay a cashier without being within 6 feet. So you got to have a mask on. That's the law. That's the governor's law. That's not my law, your law. That's the governor's law, and that's the only thing I'm doing.
In addition to that, any business that is dealing with the public, their employees are not wearing a mask, are subject to a daily fine if enforcement occurs. They may be subject to a daily fine in accordance to the governor's executive order. So,
or suspension of their license.
Right. So that's it. If you go into a store and the employees are not wearing a mask that's dealing with the public, then that's a violation of the executive order.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else got any more to say on that? Okay. And they've told us that it's mainly the public that's got to discipline it because there's not enough law enforcement to do it. In our control panel, they say that public needs to enforce their own. They need to say something to the person next door.
But you see, Don, what happens, and what I talked to Ricky about, and the state police just got back to me through Ricky. Their orders are to try to be nice, be gentle in enforcing it, but they do have the power, just like the sheriff or the village police and the villages to enforce it. But what happens is somebody says, "Hey, Don, you don't have your mask on." And you say, "I don't need a mask." And they say, "Hey, look, I want you to protect me and my family." And they say, "I don't care." Then they call the police or they file a complaint online. And it comes down to the DA, and then you have to make a decision. What are you going to do about it? That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've been working through that way. We've been, like, I tried to get a hold of the legislator in that area, and it's been taken care of in that respect. And I've gone to three places myself and talked to the people in those areas.
I heard you had a nice run-in with some people.
No, it's been nice. No.
Okay. I mean, and the other concern I asked Vicky about was, Donna and I talked about it. Graduation's coming up. There are going to be people who have parties after graduation. There are going to be a lot of people there, and they're not going to have masks on. If somebody files a complaint, I'm not sending one cop and two cops into 150 people without state police there. If they see a state trooper, they sort of believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
That
Sometimes we'll get the complaint after the events happen.
could be. Yeah. But you see, if they call 911, that's a complaint.
Don, what's the latest as far as garage sales?
The way I understood it from yesterday, and Donna can verify this maybe, is as long as they're social distancing and sanitizing and wearing their masks, garage sales are okay.
10 or less.
10 or less people there, yeah.
They are seen as non-essential.
Originally, we were told that they weren't being allowed. Now they're
So they're not essential, should we have them?
Get a little mixed message sometimes.
Donna, has this been brought up on your control room meeting?
We've gotten 1 week, we got
yesterday.
right, a week or so ago, we were told no, they need to be discouraged. And then yesterday, right, it was 10 or less, I think. Mask, social distance. I don't know how they're sanitizing everything when people go in. That's what my concern is. I think they should just be discouraged right now.
I have a question for the control room. There is a concept that's being used at large public parks of putting in marking circles that are like 8 feet in diameter and spacing them 8 feet apart so that it is an indication where people can have safe picnicking at a safe social distance. And so I was wondering, could you please bring this up at the control room to see if that's acceptable in our public parks? We've been asked by our mayor to confirm it. We will not move forward on it until he hears a comment from the control room. I can send you a picture if that would help you.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you, Donna and I talked yesterday, right? If it's a children's playground, those are not to be opened yet.
Concern about children and Kawasaki and their health and well-being. So
I have to get that for somebody. That's a clear no-no because we have what we call Little Loggers Park, and I've had it fenced off, and everybody wants it open, and it's clear the law. I think you sent it to me yesterday, Donna. Says children's parks cannot be opened yet.
Okay.
But almost every time we've asked any questions on gatherings at all, it's been 10 or under. No, there's been nothing over 10, unless that comes out in phase 2, and we're not sure what phase 2 reads yet.
So I think that this is practicing safe social distancing for picnics.
Same as it is for anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the answer, but we'll ask today.
Donnie had said, is there any chance we can find out on restaurants when they do get the green light to open? Restaurants right now, ordering stuff is taking almost a week and a half to come in. And I mean, is it the 25%? Does that mean outside? Does it mean inside? Just if we could get a little bit proactive. The problem is if we wait right till the last day for the economic side of things, the restaurants won't be able to open right off because they don't know how much to order. They know there's a lag. I don't know if with all we can find that out, but any help would be really appreciated with that.
That was a question yesterday that they're supposed to get, they said they understood. Just exactly what you said, Ed, is getting the food orders in and what they need. You can't just do that, overnight.
No, absolutely. Thank you then.
And there's also been some concerns from the control panel and some of the other people that were in the control room saying about restaurants maybe doing outside dining with a few tables and things. So that's going to be brought up today. So hopefully we'll get some direction on that, or maybe they'll bring it back to the governor. I'm not sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
What we understand is phase 2 is going to be open at 11:59 tonight. And we don't have any guidelines yet, so.
So Fran, did you have some things you wanted to talk about?
I did. I emailed the Finance Committee just an update regarding the 2 resolutions that are going to be expiring. The one resolution, the deadline is May 31st. It will be expiring, and it will be to charge the 5% penalty and 1% interest charge on 2020 taxes that are still outstanding in the office. So effective Monday, if this doesn't get extended, we will be adding, like I said, the 5% penalty and 1% interest to all 2020 taxes that are still outstanding. The 2019 and prior interest waiver resolution, that will be expiring on June 22nd. That was the date we used because that was the state's STAR deadline that they had issued us. So I just wanted to bring that up in case, because of the state of emergency, and we're still dealing with everything, I wasn't sure if the board wanted to extend that penalty and interest further.
We have to wait till next week to actually do it because it has to, what was the deadline? June 1st?
Deadline is Sunday. June 1st would be when we charge it. However,
We can backdate a resolution when we do it on next Thursday, probably.
we can delay putting it on the system until after the board.
Convenes, okay.
But I wanted to mention the other one as well, the 2019 and prior. We've had over 20 people that have actually taken advantage of that and paid their taxes. And we have approximately 50 that have contacted us, and we're just awaiting payment.
Right, and also the letter from the state on the STAR exemption is going out also, right?
It was supposed to have gone out last Friday. We have not heard any response. None of the treasurers have, so we don't know if that letter actually went out.
Okay.
So Fran, on June 18th, is that a good date to possibly extend the one that ends the 22nd if they decide instead of doing it too early, because it might just encourage more people to come in right now? And then you could decide on June 18th at the regular board meeting if you wanted to extend that or not. Would that work? Would that work for you? Because right now, as it stands, people really have until June 22nd to take advantage of that. If it's going to be extended, that's fine, but we don't really know that yet.
Right, and even if it is extended, June 22nd is the state deadline.
Right.
Even if the county decides to extend it into July, the state deadline is June 22nd for the STAR program. So
Right.
not pay by June 22nd, regardless of an extension, they could be removed from the STAR program.
So we really want to encourage that.
So I wanted to bring it up because we are getting close to those dates, so.
Yeah, and I think we want to keep the other one. I'm not sure. It's up to the board. I mean, it's.
I agree with Donnie on that one. I think we should. It's working, right, Fran? So why? Yeah.
It is. We've gotten quite a response. Tax money, at this point, the tax money is really what's coming into the county. Some of the other is slowing down, but property tax money has been coming in on a pretty regular basis. People are calling because they're getting stimulus checks and they're wanting to pay their taxes off. So we've seen quite a response.
Well, it's really good for our constituents it's really a great opportunity for them to maintain their property and on good standing and not be faced with foreclosure as well. So I think it's been such a win-win all the way around.
It's great for us too. There's no doubt. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Next week, but yeah, decide today. You know, yeah.
No, We can't do a resolution today, or but we can do one at our next regular meeting. We could do, but we'll save the one for the 22nd to the 18th probably, if everybody's okay with that. And we'll just do at the first meeting of the year of the June, we'll do it. We'll do the other one on the 2020 taxes.
Okay,
Don, can we have Fran come in with our updated results, you know, what effect it's had, and make a recommendation that we extend it, and we can vote on it next week.
If she can have it ready for then, yeah.
I'll have the tax figures. So the 2020s, there was no interest or penalty added to them anyway, so I can give you a figure of how many people have paid their 2020s to our office. And then on June 18th, when we present for the extension of the other, if you choose to, I can have a figure of what we actually collected in taxes and what was saved in interest for those taxpayers, if you'd like that on June 18th.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
thank you.
Also, starting next month, I'm going to go into the courthouse and do the meetings from there. But it's going to be your guys' choice whether you want to be WebEx or whether you want to be there. I'm going to space everything out, the tables and stuff, and just see how it looks. But it's going to be a personal preference. If you want to come in, okay. If not, and we'll do it that way and see how that works out for the first meeting in June. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I am. Yes. I have a question for Fran.
Yes.
On that resolution or that extending that, how long do we want to extend that, Fran?
I don't know if you want to do this, and I know it's tough to go on a month-by-month basis, but just to see where the county stands. I don't know that we should extend it for too long. You want to extend it to July 1st, and we can readdress it at the June 18th meeting again. I'm not sure if you want to keep doing that every month, but if the county starts to reopen and things get back to a new normal, I don't know that we want to go 3 months. I'm not sure if you want to address it every month. That would be my recommendation, is to see where we stand with everything on a monthly basis.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I put that in your recommendation. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Fran.
Okay. The thing with us having the meeting at the courthouse, though, is we're going to have to only have 10 people. That's why we're going to have to do WebEx for the public and everybody else. If all of us show up along with John, Donna, and Penny, there's 10 of us. So there won't be anybody else in the courthouse but the 10 of us. So everybody else is either going to have to be on either WebEx, or if somebody doesn't come, we can allow one more person in, but we wouldn't know that. We almost got to plan on no public there. They can only come by WebEx. Okay.
I would suggest planning on that.
So we'll get the room set up anyways, and we'll see how it works the first time, and we'll take it from there. If everybody's good. I think everybody's okay with that. The Franklin County Fair, the committee there they did their fair thing. Andre, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I didn't know if we were talking about it in this meeting or if we had to talk about it on our regular session. They canceled their fair, but they're also looking for a letter of support of their cancellation because of the amount of costs it's going to cost them if their fair was not shut down by the executive order or by a health order or by the board of legislators. They're going to be paying all these extra fines for all their entertainers.
A lot of static coming somewhere.
Here, somebody's got back goers. I didn't hear what you said, Andrea.
Static, I don't.
Can you put people on mute, and then when they talk, they will unmute?
So good.
You want to talk, push on.
No, right, that one right there.
There we go.
There
That's
you go.
better. Okay. So the Franklin County Fair Board canceled their fair, as all the fairs around us are starting to cancel. But the entertainment company from Tennessee is charging everybody all these extra fees because we're canceling it and it's not being canceled by the executive order directly. or a health order directly or a board of legislators. So they're asking for a letter of support of their cancellation, so that way it can minimize the amount of extra fees that they're going to be having to pay. So I don't know if we have to do this in our next meeting next Thursday, pass a motion on the floor, a resolution to support the cancellation of the fair because of COVID-19, or what everybody's thoughts or feelings are.
Andrea?
Yeah.
You're just asking for a letter to go along with yours, is what you're saying?
They need a letter from our board stating that we should not be having a fair.
We agree with what your decision was, basically, is what you're saying. Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't, I can have Penny, as long as Penny can write it up.
So do we need to make a resolution? Would we have to pass a resolution or a health?
You got the state executive order in your packet.
Yeah, we have the executive order, and we gave them the governor's order, and they still say that's not good enough. That it has to be canceled from your local representative, your local health department. And I'm like, technically, he's over our local health department still. There's an state executive order.
So it sounds like the letter has to come from the public health, not from the board.
Either that, Andrea, or you could do it under your order, emergency order.
Okay.
I think that.
I think we should send a letter.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, yeah.
And I'll do a letter from the village also, just since it sits in the village of Malone. And maybe I'll have Andy Stewart pass one through her town board also, just so we have all three entities, supporting each other.
I could do a letter saying that we're totally in support of you canceling your fairgrounds, and we think it's the right thing to do because of all the different things going on or whatever.
Yeah.
I would say it even stronger in terms of it's a required thing to do.
Andrea, if you put it in your emergency order, that has the force of law.
Yep. Okay. I can do that also.
Well, they'll have several this way.
Okay. Yeah, it's just to help the extra cost. Okay.
Thank you. Is there anything else, anybody?
Would it be okay if Andrea talked to Katie Strack and see if she would issue a letter?
Yeah, I would think we could get one from there also, but the public health one would be probably the most important one, I think. But
Okay. That's what I kind of thought, but wanted to run it.
we could do one also. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everything around us is canceled. Like I said to them, our Iron Man, horse show, Tin Man, Woodsman's Day. I mean, everything's been canceled and across the region. So it's not like it's the only thing that's canceled.
And the big issue is public safety.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don?
Yeah.
Fran had another issue about the, Fran, didn't you have a question about the tents? The red tag issue?
Yes. So, well, John is going to come down after the meeting and talk to me about it. I wasn't sure if I misunderstood when we revised the law. It was my understanding that campers and tents that came into a site were also to be charged occupancy tax. So that's how I've been enforcing. And I just want to make sure that how I'm enforcing it is, of course, following that law.
Yeah, it was anything less than 30 days from what I understand.
Yeah, that was my understanding too. It'd be no different than bringing in your RV or bringing in a tent or bringing in something. I don't know what else you sleep
I
in.
think we actually changed the language to include tents, didn't we, John?
Yeah.
You're 2018, John. You did the final write-up with
Yeah,
that.
well, I'll go down and take, I told Fran earlier I'd stop down and visit with her and we'll go over it.
We had a meeting in there and you were gonna do the final write-up. What's on that platform? With TAP.
It is a tough platform. I don't think it's.
It was anything that wasn't a permanent. I don't even want to say that. That's not true.
It references a temporary structure and any other name of similar nature is basically how it's worded.
Right, I think like a lean-to or,
We didn't put in tents or specific things like that in there. Oh, okay.
but the intention was for tents or canopy, whatever you're sleeping under, right?
Like, oh,
But you will straighten that out today, so that's good. Anything else? Okay, and then we'll, after next Thursday's meeting, we'll discuss, maybe as we go on, maybe we could just do these by WebEx, or if we want to keep continuing forward, if that's with the pleasure of the board, but we'll take it week to week from now on.
Donnie, it's Eddie. I'm sorry. One more thing. Donna got an email from Brian in the TAC, just wanting to meet with us again. We're still on pause with all that stuff? I just need to know. I'm going to meet obviously with Donnie and Donna today so we can get this moving or whatever. And is the board still in that direction, still on pause for right now?
yes. Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's what I understand. We haven't done anything to take it off pause yet, so. Did we put a date on that pause, Donna? Do you remember? No? Okay.
Sorry.
I see you say no, though.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But if there is something we're asking the TAC to do, we should be describing it to them.
Right.
Yeah. For sure. Anything else?
Don, did you want to talk about the graduation ceremonies?
We did. I thought we did. We didn't, maybe, yeah. I thought we talked about it earlier. The only thing is we're going to let the individual school districts make their decisions on that, but it has to follow all the guidelines of 10 or less.
So, Donnie, I don't know if you saw that email that Paul Lozon had sent to me from Peru Central School District. I know when they start reading that, people are going to start wondering what they can do here.
I think the Moan School District has a very good plan on the way they're going to do it. And I'm not sure they're going to do 10-minute intervals, and it's only going to be the child and their parents up there, and the school's going to take pictures and do videotaping. And to me, that's the ideal way to do it. It's
true. Yeah. I mean, the kids need something. And, I know the schools are working at putting that in place. I know we have a lot of frustrated parents, rightfully so. I would be too if I was a parent with a child graduating this year. I feel bad for these kids. I feel bad for everybody. I mean, we're all going through some changes that we've never had to experience.
Yeah, things have changed a lot. When I graduated, my parents just said go to work. They didn't even want a picture of me.
They didn't even want graduation back then.
Donnie circulated the St. Lawrence County Public Health Order for your review and consideration. Is that something you would want to pursue in collaboration with the Public Health Department?
I sent it out today, just earlier today.
I was
But
gonna say,
I read it, I thought it was good.
I think what Moan Central School District sounds like they have a very nice plan, and it looks like it'd be workable. I don't think they could do it all in one day because it's a large school, and maybe some of your other larger schools would have the same problem. But the only thing is, if you every 10-minute intervals, it would take 3 days to do their graduation. Probably, I don't know, unless they do it in 3 different locations on the football field.
I don't
I
think
can
that's the
send that
plan.
email to all the legislators. Yeah, it can be used as an option. It can be used to stir ideas and stuff. A lot of your schools, municipalities have large parking lots, have access to in and out. They can flow traffic. It's a pretty good setup for Peru schools. They're using the Clinton County Fairgrounds. I'll send it to all the legislators.
And the thing is, I think we got to let the school districts come up with their own plan because they know all the rules. I mean, the state has given them the same guidance they've given us.
right.
So the St. Lawrence Public Health letter that you sent around, what it expresses is what different options are.
Right.
And I thought that was helpful for different size schools. There's different options and they can make their choice. So I thought that letter was fairly well crafted.
We could actually probably have that sent to the, I think the school districts already have that.
I think they've worked, yeah, they probably are working through that together.
Well, but it's not from Franklin County, that's from St. Lawrence County. So the BOCES superintendent was wondering if Franklin County Public Health Department would want to do something similar to sort of establish some guidelines around what's acceptable for graduation. And it does say, the order says very clearly that it is up to the school districts and to develop their own plans that's in compliance with executive orders that exist, but they just thought it would really give some guidelines around it.
So we could send it out as a recommendation, not an order or anything like that, but just as a recommendation.
Could do that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
As a reference.
What's
as
that?
a reference. As a
So-
reference.
We give it to Katie and maybe have Katie do something from the Franklin County Public Health and as a reference to them.
Yeah, you could, and
Yeah.
right, whatever you decide.
I just think that it should come from public health probably. If they did over there, it probably should from here also.
Mhm.
Okay,
I agree.
Good.
okay. Anything else? Frank, keep counting the money.
Hey, Paul Lozon, can I give you a phone call afterwards? Paul Lozon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I will say that Fran and I have had some budget discussions and correspondence today, so we are monitoring that. I just don't have a report.
Well, thanks, everybody, and
Thank you.
talk to you at least next Thursday for sure.
Thanks, Don and Donna, for all you're doing. You're really working hard.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep Donna, we're done, and everybody in the offices is working really hard. I just listen to what they tell me. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye.